Assalamu alaikum. You're here because you have that fire within, those big dreams that Allah has placed in your heart. You strive for excellence, for a life that reflects the best of your potential, a life pleasing to your Creator. But something holds you back. Procrastination. It's like a whisper, a subtle pull towards later, towards comfort, away from the purposeful action that defines a believer. You know the struggle. You set goals, especially during times of renewed faith like Ramadan or the New Year, but then that familiar feeling of inertia sets in. The guilt creeps in because deep down you know Allah has blessed you with the capability to achieve so much more. Days turn into weeks and the dreams that once felt so close seem to fade. You might even start labeling yourself as lazy. But what if I told you that overcoming procrastination isn't just about willpower? What if it's about understanding a principle that exists both in the natural world and within the teachings of Islam? It's called inertia. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The strong believer is more beloved to Allah than the weak believer, though there is good in both." Sahih Muslim, 2664. This strength isn't just physical, it's the strength of will, the strength to act upon your intentions, the strength to overcome inertia. In physics, Newton's first law states that an object at rest stays at rest unless acted upon by an external force. This applies to our goals too. Our righteous desires and ambitions will remain dormant unless we provide that initial push, that spark of action guided by sincere niyyah. Much of the advice out there focuses on external changes, deleting social media, creating a distraction-free environment. These are helpful, but they are like trimming the branches of a weed without addressing the root. We're going to the root cause, that mental block, that inertia that makes even small tasks feel like climbing Mount Uhud. Here's the secret, inspired by Islamic principles and modern science. We need to make that initial push so easy, so aligned with our fitrah, natural disposition, that it becomes almost effortless to start. Shrink the starting line and begin with Bismillah. Instead of overwhelming yourself with a huge task, break it down into the smallest possible step. The Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged us to start our actions with Bismillah, in the name of Allah. This invokes Allah's help and transforms the mundane into an act of worship. So instead of saying you'll write a whole report, tell yourself you'll write one paragraph with Bismillah. Instead of planning a long study session, commit to 15 minutes with focused dhikr, remembrance of Allah, beforehand. Lower the stakes so much that it feels almost wrong not to start. Method 2, the 2-minute rule, powered by consistency. This is where the Islamic principle of consistency comes in. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The most beloved of deeds to Allah are the most consistent of them, even if they are few." Sahih al-Bukhari, 6465. Tell yourself you'll only work on a task for 2 minutes. Set a timer. Once those 2 minutes are up, you're free to stop. But here's the beautiful part. You probably won't. Just like a small, consistent stream can carve a canyon, over time, those 2 minutes, offered with sincerity and consistency, will build momentum. It's like pushing that heavy stone uphill. At first, it requires immense effort. But once you get over that initial hump, with Allah's help, it becomes easier. You're doing the thing you thought you couldn't do. These aren't just tricks. They're about aligning your actions with your faith. You can use them for anything. That project you've been delaying, that act of worship you want to improve, that relationship you want to strengthen, all for the sake of Allah. Remember the words of Allah in the Quran. So surely with hardship comes ease. Surely with hardship comes ease. Quran 94, 5-6. This is the promise of Allah. Every challenge, including the challenge of overcoming procrastination, is followed by ease. Your first step, taken with sincere niyyah and reliance on Allah, is the key to unlocking that ease. So, are you ready to take that first step for the sake of Allah and start living the life He intended for you?